Scrappy Peeps, Suzanna here today for the Scrap Room, and I am working with Fancy Pants Designs Howl from the October Scrap Room Flavors of the Month kit, and this is the layout that I created using that. Know that I have also added to what I am working with the pattern paper add-on, as well as the accompanying embellishments from the embellishment kit. So I am working with this month's sketch, which if you go over to the Facebook group, you will find this month's sketch, and I have turned the sketch sideways. So rather than having the strip be vertical, I have turned it to go horizontal, and the reason that I have changed this is in order to work with my photos. So the sketch calls for two 4x6 photos that are vertical. Because I have photos that are horizontal, that's why I rotated the sketch. And instead of one 4x6, I have two 3x4 photos that obviously make up the same as a 4x6. So there is a strip that is at the bottom and then a smaller strip. My amendment to the sketch is that I used that twine. I've been using a lot of twine lately, baker's twine, and I love the way that it adds another bit of color, and it draws the color from that multicolor piece down the wider strip to the color with the stripes down below. So then in the sketch too, it also calls for layers of paper behind the photo. It looks to me as though there is one uniting piece, and then there are three smaller ones, and then a strip across. I was not worried about the precision of the layers behind that photo. I just decided layers. And so that's what I went with. And I wanted to get a mix of the colors in the pattern papers. There's a lot of busy patterns, and so I wanted to be able to get bits and pieces of the pattern without them being distracting to the photos. And so that's why you'll see that I have the photos laid out this way and with the pattern paper, and then I'm actually going to switch the patterns because of the weight of the photos and the pattern papers there. I cannot actually tell you the sizes that I'm using because I didn't measure things. I didn't say, I'm going to go 4x6 on this. I literally kind of cut around the photo, and I just winged it, wung it. One of those, whichever one of those is appropriate. I kind of just made it up as I went along. So I've got the two 3x4 photos up the top there, and then I'm going to put the 4x6 photo on the bottom. And just as those pattern papers do not touch the border piece, which on my layout is what I would call a footer, I'm going to make sure that they do not touch here as well, so that you have that delineation of the black that really kind of pops all of those colors there, which is why I then trim this down a little bit, and that is what I end up using for layers of the pattern papers there. I did toy with the horizontal strip that kind of unite the two photos, which in my layout would actually be a vertical strip, but I didn't like it. I just felt there were too many patterns already behind these very busy photos, and so I didn't want to put any more in. So I'm going to adhere this down, and you could see I used a pencil there to mark where the photos were going to be. And the reason I did that is because I want to use this metallic gel from ThermoWeb. It is it's kind of a blacky silver color. It's called pewter, and I'm using this stencil from Echo Park. These are not part of the kit. This is just me and my love for mixed media, but I wanted to create a bit of a scene from this, and I love the way that the bats and then with the metallic deco foil gel added some texture to the layout, and so I'm going to leave that to dry, and I'm going to turn the camera off and then come back to that. And those of you who know me and follow my work know that I'm very impatient patient, so it is not completely dry. It is dry enough, but I am actually going to end up smudging something onto one of the decorative elements, unfortunately, but it's okay. I'm going to work with it. So I'm going to tuck this orange behind, get that out of the way, and this is just artist tape that I'm using to adhere that down so that when I do eventually put the layouts into page protectors, they will not pull up. With the kit, and the part of the embellishment add-ons for the fancy pants are these flares. I'm going to use one of them. I've gotten into having some texture on my pages lately. So I have, with the kit is going to come a pack of the ephemera, which includes these really cool pumpkins, which you can make. You have the stickers to make pumpkin faces to make them, to turn them into jack-o'-lanterns. So it took me a while to figure out that that's what that was, but that's really cool. I like it. And so I'm going to just use all of these sort of Halloween-y bits and pieces to substantiate the Halloween theme that goes with these photos. So a little bit about these photos. My son Nicholas was 15 in these photos, and so he had probably stopped trick-or-treating for 2 years at that point, and this is the first year that he actually dressed up again, which is kind of a big deal for me, for a teenager. These boys are minions, and he is Gru from Despicable Me. They asked him to participate in their group costume, and they got a third-place prize, which I thought was pretty cool. So I am going to cover up some of the bats with these embellishments. I have this frame, and rather than using it as a whole frame, cut it in half and used it to create the scene, actually to add a little bit of white to the black background and lighten things up a little bit was my goal with that. You can see I put the ghost up high. And I am going to, this is a very unusual layout for me in that I typically lay everything out before I stick it down. But because I'm working with a sketch, I was like, well, here go the embellishments where the flowers are, and here's where the strips of paper go. Things get stuck down very quickly. But because I did change things up a little bit, I did have to also change the placement of some of the embellishments. So you see the ghost is a little high. It moves everything directly across. I usually like my embellishments to be in a visual triangle. And so I'm going to lower the ghost down, and this is where I get some of that not completely dried pewter metallic gel paste on there. But see how much better that looks? Slightly down lower from the star and the flare there, and you can see that visual triangle that is created there. I got a baby wipe to try and wipe off some of that gel that got on the white ghost, and I just ended up smudging it more, so it just looks like a little extra funky shadow that's in the ghost, and that's okay. I'm just going to learn to live with it because it's not worth getting uptight about. So in order to have the same depth as the flare, I did pop up the ghost and the pumpkin, so they are raised up off the page. Also with the kit is going to be some enamel dots with the Fancy Pants collection, and so I tried using a couple of those and incorporating them in, but it just ended up being too busy, and you can't really tell that they are what they are, which is fine. This is not from the kit. This is Halloween stickers, stickers. They come from Tuesday Morning. I'm going to use them for the title on the page, and the title is going to be very nondescript, and it's going to say Nova Halloween, and Halloween, of course, being the topic, and Nova being the swim club that Nicholas swims for, and this is his first Nova Halloween. I am going to do one thing off camera, and that is I'm going to add an orange strip to the left of the photo with the date, just the year actually, not the whole date, 2018. It's obviously Halloween, and because the letters are hard to see the way that the gold is, I am going to outline that in black, and you'll see that in the close-ups, but I wanted that third piece of orange to again go with a visual triangle, and I just felt like it was a little dark in that corner and needed a little something there, and I like the way that it just pops things flavors. You'll, again, like I said, you'll see that in the close-ups. I moved through the putting down of Halloween very quickly. I fast forwarded this. These are from Tuesday morning, as I mentioned, and they are pretty well stuck to the paper, and I had to do a little bit of finagling to get them off. So that, my friends, is my use of Fancy Pants that's in the October Flavors of the Month kit. If you don't subscribe already and you put my name in the box, the comment box, Rochelle will send you a little extra something. I love getting the 4 different flavors, literally flavors, like a sampling every month, and if I really like it, then I can go and buy more. I hope you enjoyed this process video. It's been a while since I've seen you, so it's been great to see you again. Thanks for stopping in today. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.